cheers. We're at 100 episodes. We're starting right now. And welcome in with loud shouts, bang your pots and pans, Christian Felix and Shonali Bhowmik.
Woo! Thank you, Justin the Intern. Oh my gosh. Celebrations are look at that. Some man is out in Palm Springs. That's what I hear out there.
Might as well be. Might as well be. Look at that. That it does look like Palm Springs. You know, it looks like Palm Springs.
There's a lot of space.
And I'm in a study. I'm in a real study. You know, in New York, I do not have this many books. I have to get them rid of them.
You almost look presidential, I gotta say.
Thank you. Oh, do you notice
you almost look you almost look like a head
he's right behind me.
Oh, really? Which POTUS is that?
You see that one?
Which POTUS is that?
Try to take a look at the skin color. Can you tell?
Oh, President. Oh, welcome everybody to our beautiful podcast on 22222222.
Justin, I love that intro with sharing all these fabulous guests we've had over the years. That's so awesome, and they've done so many things. And we'll get into it. I guess we got to do our official start with our 100th episode, 100 months. We've skipped some here and there. We pretty much started in June of 2012 with Jason Lamb as our very first guest. But let's do our song. Where's Justin? Do the song with us, Justin.
I'm here. Justin. What happened? Oh, I don't know.
Your video turned off.
Yeah, you.
That was a mistake, you guys. I'm here.
Once an intern, always an intern. Making mistakes. Here we go. A 1, a 2.
A 2. A 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't even know. We don't even know. With Christian Felix, Shonali, and Justin the Intern. We don't even know.
One more time.
Justin's missing. We don't even know.
No, we don't.
We don't even know.
Where's Justin?
With Christian Felix, Shonali, Bhowmik, and Justin the Intern. We don't even know. I would be screaming, but I'll blow out these speakers.
No,
but I am elated. I don't think we ever thought that this could be possible. We didn't even think about it. We just did. And it happened that 100 episodes came into existence. That's what happened. There was no thought, right? And I think that's
remarkable.
The beauty, the organic sense of our friendships and of us being excited about meeting other people, sharing fabulous other people with the world, and talking to each other. It's like a gift. It's a gift to me.
After in 100 episodes, we did 1 episode a month. And that means if I have my math correct, that's 100 months.
Oh yeah. 100 months. Wow. And we skipped a few. So it's been like it's 10 years almost. We skipped a number. And I mean, it's very impressive. I'm impressed with us. I'm impressed with you, Christian, you, Justin.
I mean,
it's a big deal.
Shonali, it's a long time to be in a throuple, I gotta say. Like the fact that this throuple lasted for 10 years is pretty remarkable. And we're doing it now. We got all of the coasts covered on this episode. Right. You're on the East Coast. You got 2 cities. I'm on the West Coast, not doing it from here. So this is pretty remarkable too.
Christian is in in Canada, sort of the way he's got the stocking cap. He didn't even wear one in New York City. It's like he goes to California to wear a stocking cap.
It got a little nippy. And when I spent time, Shonali, when I spent some days in the sun, and I was in some remarkable sun, I got sun-kissed. It really just revved me up. I got to tell you, I get very fragile when the sun disappears, and it got a little bit colder. So now I'm a little nippy. I got to have but I'm so happy I brought my hat.
I'm glad you brought your hat too. I mean, but I do hope we're going to get a better view of you.
Oh, don't worry. You're gonna get a better view. You're gonna get a better view.
He's backlit, right, guys? He's backlit. It's all right.
I'm backlit. What do you mean?
It's
true.
Really?
It still looks good. But I just want to touch base with something that Justin started talking about, all these fabulous guests in our long guest list. And I was going to say, in terms of number, you are correct. We had at least 200 guests, but early when we started, we'd have 3 guests. We started by ourselves with one
That's
guest,
right.
right? We did that at home in our own homes. Then we ventured out to hi-fi and we had 3 guests every episode for a long time. And then we ventured into the Red Room. We love all these places. The Red Room in the East Village. Also, we stuck to Manhattan. I live in Manhattan. Sorry. I love you guys. I love you, Brooklyn friends. I love Manhattan. So thank you. Thank you for coming to Manhattan to be with us. We did that in the Red Room. We had started with 3 guests and we went into 2. This is just to say, Justin, when you start counting, it's going to be over 200 guests. It's
For
a
sure.
long list. And look at that, Daddy. What is Daddy?
Illuminating fish.
Daddy polar bear. Ooh. I like this look, and with the fish in the background, this is what I'm talking about. I knew something good was going to come in. I was like, this man has worked too hard on Zoom all this
It
pandemic to
just,
come in here with the
Shonali, it
backlit.
took me to go to Palm Springs to get my first daddy t-shirt. So here we are. I guess I should get one for Justin too.
Oh, I heard that.
Yeah, you stole that from me, I think.
Jason Butler Harner, one of our other former guests, told me that it's like bear season in Palm Springs right now. So I didn't know that.
Yes, yeah, a certain kind of bear. Exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes.
I didn't know I qualified, but apparently I do. I wouldn't say I'm polar bear though.
Oh, I never even put that together.
Don't you call me polar bear. Don't you call me polar bear. Shonali. This doesn't qualify for polar bear.
Maybe next year.
You know what, Justin?
Ooh, because Christian, we went out at Gay Pride to a bear bar, but you weren't categorized as a bear back then. So just
No, I wasn't.
times have changed. Times have changed. We've done 100 shows, everybody. And I just, before we get into, the celebration, the festivities we had planned, I wanted to just go back over Christian, Justin. We have not only had these fabulous guests that we list that are accomplished and have done so many different things from journalism, politics, comedy, music, dance, personal trainers, sound men. It's just, there's so many people have done so many things. But we also had a lot of performers that played characters in our show. And
That's
that
true.
came in, broke down, what did they say, the third wall or the fourth wall?
That'd be the fourth wall, Shonali.
That was the 4th. So the 4th one,
But
not
you know what?
the
But that to
3rd.
me, you break down the 5th, Shonali. Just in life.
But I always wanted to name some of them because they were such great performers, especially on the eve of the invasion of Ukraine by Russia. We did have a Russian hacker on our show, and he is a young actor, comedian, also activist named Alan Yaspin. Amazing. We had our own dance choreographer that it was our dance coach. He was played by Theo Koppel. I don't know if you remember that.
That's right.
We had
I do.
Rhonda the dog trainer, which was amazing because she was doing tricks for an imaginary dog, and that's not easy
Right.
to do.
No,
That was really great. And
no.
that was Becky Chicoine.
Yeah.
And then
I still
we
do
had,
those tricks today.
I mean, exactly. Those are perfect gifts for me because I'm down with the invisible dog. That is my invisible poop. That's the way I want to operate. That's my magic place. That's the kind of dog that I'm all about. Imaginary diarrhea. I don't need real diarrhea. Okay, sorry guys. Roy Koshi, who played the cult leader Keith Raniere.
That's right.
Jordan Clifford, who is also a 2-time guest co-host, played the guy who had the worst holidays during that Christmas show where he
that was great.
busted up our show. That was so good. People really believed he was a person with a bad attitude that was grumpy during our show. So he got heckled, and that was funny. Nat Towson played the podcast protester at the end of our show.
Oh my
He was
gosh.
like done with podcasts. He had a sign. He was done with, as so many of you are.
Which you
you're
saw
with
on
us
the
tonight.
promo for this show. If you saw that was
Yes. Mitch, the enthusiasm coach, he was encouraging you, Christian, to get more psyched about things. That was Matt Hunziker who played that. That was Christian would not have it. Matt was amazing. Mitch
He
was
lives
amazing.
right here now. He lives right here on my shoulder. Just talks to me.
And then we had Gary the Bad Vampire. Do you remember that? Meaning not bad as in mean, but he just wasn't into being a vampire. He was just over it. And that was played by comedian Matt Little. So we've had like the coolest
We did,
freaking
yeah.
fun times, and we encourage you all to go back. We never had sponsors, we never made money. We just did this because we love you and these people, and we want to celebrate them, share them with the world, and you know, shows that aren't without advertising and they're not asking money, they're going to be a thing of the past. So like, sink your teeth in now. Don't wait for Pitchfork to tell you or whatever, the vulture tells you what you listen to. Like, we already did it for you. Like, you could be ahead of the game. We all
That's
know this.
right.
You're watching us, right? Um, all right, but you know what? Let's get into what we're
Let's get
doing
into it.
now. Let's get
Yes.
into what we're doing now. We have a special show tonight. We are going to do our first screening of a documentary. And before we talk about the documentary, we're going to talk about the guest that's going to be on the show that's featured in this documentary. This guest is a longtime friend of all of us. And for me, he was a big influence on me before I even moved to New York City. And I've told Christian that. I met Justin through him. I met Christian after knowing this guest for years. He's influenced me as an artist, as a songwriter, as a person. Um, he's an illustrator. You've seen his stuff in the New Yorker, the Atlantic. When I was living in Atlanta and when we actually all owned magazines, I would be looking in Time. Oh, there's his art. Oh, Rolling Stone. I'm not sure if he was Rolling Stone, but I assume he was because he was in every magazine. And then he also led my favorite bands and band one before I moved here called Railroad Jerk. And
Mm.
he is a person that outside of New York City has influenced lots of people I know personally, they're artists. And his name is Marcellus Hall.
That's
And
right.
there is this fabulous series, documentary that Justin directed with his Fourwind Films, based on just following the career path of this fabulously talented friend of ours. And it's so good, and we're going to share it here with you guys tonight. We're so excited. Christian, Justin,
Woohoo!
chime in to share a bit of what we're about
Well,
to
if the
do.
the one thing that I can celebrate about Marcellus is he's the only friend I know who rode the 5 boroughs of New York on a bicycle, and he looked like a mix between Jack Kerouac and James Dean in Oxford shoes and jean jacket and like a crisp button down that didn't get sweaty, that
No,
didn't get
he
crumpled. He
he
maintained this outfit for
the
50
five,
miles,
and he
the
did
five
that.
boroughs.
He finished way before you and I did, and we
Okay,
had
you don't need to say
exercise
that
wear
part,
on.
Shonali. You don't need to say
Oh
that
yeah,
part. But yes, he did finish before us. And the man got style, is what I'm talking about. The man got
yeah,
style, he got enthusiasm, and clearly he is very talented in so many other ways. I can't wait to watch this very, very well put together documentary made by a very talented filmmaker as well.
yeah,
Thank you. Um,
yeah,
yeah, I appreciate. I could.
yeah. Go
Do you
ahead
want
and
me to
cue it up,
intro it and then
Justin.
we'll play it, or?
Yeah, you get. So what we're gonna do, guys, is we're gonna watch the series. It's about 30 minutes, and then Marcellus is gonna come on, and Christian and I are gonna have a chat with him about his career. We want you to ask questions. A lot of you are friends. We want you to chime in the feed. Like, let's make it an interactive process as much as we can through this, the virtual airwaves. But we're very excited to share this. I know lots of friends that haven't seen it yet, so
Yep.
super excited. Yeah.
Yes, I'm so excited. We've had such great feedback. We've won 2 awards so far for this documentary. It's only played at I think 2 spots so far, and we've already got 2 awards.
Amazing.
So if you guys
That's
were giving
awesome.
out awards tonight, we'll take it now. No, just kidding.
Well,
But I'm very excited to share this. It took 5 years to make. Me and Mars sitting talking in a room, and Mars put a lot on the line. What he talks about, uh, I mean, you guys will see in 2 seconds, so I won't go too far. But the one thing that I do want to, just so you know what you're seeing ahead of time, is say that this is actually 5 different episodes that was meant for internet consumption. So just like you guys are consuming it now, and they're going to be playing back to back. So you're going to see the same intro 5 times. There's a little intro scene, and then it goes into the intro to the episode. And so they're just going to be playing back to back without a break in between, so there won't be an indication going to the next episode, but you'll kind of notice when it goes to black that is at the next episode. So
awesome. Take notes,
Sounds
you
good.
guys.
all right,
All right.
I'm going to jump off and get this stuff ready, and you guys just let me know when
Okay,
to
yeah,
start
we're
it.
gonna stop our video as soon as it goes up
Yep.
on the
We'll
screen.
be ready to go.
You guys keep your comments coming. Thank you so much for all your congratulations, Jason, Mia, Tash, Chelsea, all of you. It's so awesome to have you here with us. All right.
It is. It is. And we hope to celebrate with you all in person at some point, but we'll take this virtual celebration and go get yourself a refreshment, maybe some tea
Here we go.
of that nature. Here we go. Okay.
A successful piece of art is the tension between the force of nature and your own will as an artist. You're not trying to corral it and wrangle it down to the ground and control it. You're trying to dance with it and allow for the paint to do what it wants to do. I think that's exciting.
Hello, everyone. That was amazing, wasn't it?
It was remarkable. I have so many questions.
Thank you for watching. I've gotten so many amazing notes, and we saw all these beautiful comments. It's a beautiful documentary, isn't it? And what a special, talented, brilliant person Marcellus is in his work and his attitude, and just it really like touches my heart watching it, especially living in New York and now even understanding more so what he's captured and the energy and feel.
Justin, do you actually want to turn your video on? This is your first time watching it kind of, well, back to back with, I would imagine, an audience, or maybe I'm wrong on that. What was your experience of seeing the content in this format?
Well, yeah, I've seen it before in theaters, played back to back a few times. I haven't live streamed it. I mean, I was online doing some of the comments, and I've seen it like many times. But I mean, it's so fun to see people reacting to it while they're watching it, and while I can see what part they're on. I haven't ever done that before, so thank you everybody for the lovely comments. It means a lot. It's a long time sitting in a room like this, and actually in this room a lot, this very room, making that documentary. So I really appreciate everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I could
comments.
imagine, like, I mean, this was not a first film that you made, but it was a first kind of project like this, and with the type of artist who, I mean, has so much content, and there's so many different directions that you could have gone in. How did you determine how you were going to approach like the narrative of the film and all the various factors you had to consider?
Yeah, well, one of the first things I did was just me and Mars talked about it. I kind of knew I wanted to do it chronologically because that's how I like to watch documentaries. And so I would interview him. We didn't interview in chronological order, but almost. And I was going to gather all of his stuff, all his videos, all his photos. And then after a while, I just noticed that his illustrations said everything, and they're really the most expressive part of him, and he had complete control over that. That's like him pouring his heart out into the page. And so I ended up not doing any of the photos, even though we looked at a lot of them, not doing some of his like music videos and different things, and we just focused on the illustrations, which I think it's like 300 plus illustrations in this series.
Wow, that is so incredible. I mean, I was fortunate to receive a puzzle, and was able to get my hands on a
Yes,
puzzle,
thank
one of
you.
his illustrations. And well, thank you. And it was something that my family, my mom and my sister and I worked on over the holidays, and it was tough. It was really tough. I mean, you know, there's so much complexity and intricacy and the gradient of color in so many different parts. But his style and his aesthetic is super unique. How did you discern like which content you want? Was that a collaborative process, or was it something that you
Yeah,
kind
well,
of like did?
it's more Mars filtered it down through what I got. At first, I just took all of it, all the stuff they had digitally, and then and I went and edited, and then he watched it, and then he replaced whatever he wanted and gave me different things to try out. And I would say, oh, that doesn't work. Give me another one or something. But it was mostly
Yeah.
filtered through Mars. But he has an insane amount of archives that he has in his house because he keeps all of his originals very organized in boxes, and he does it on paper. That I mean, he knows what he's doing. I shouldn't talk about the art process because he knows more.
Yes, you're not that part of it, but it's so, because I mean, I know that Shonali and I have had conversations, and she gets annoyed by some questions that I ask like artists.
Oh God.
She's still here. She hears.
Yeah. So
Justin, I was having such a good conversation with you.
Yeah, this is not how I can't figure out this thing how to allow someone back in. It's not a quick fix. So what we can do is just start a new room.
We're gonna do
That's
it.
what we're gonna have to do. I would have to go back live again. So if everybody can just hold on, and we'll just come back with you with Marcellus Hall. So it's part 2.
Sounds good.
We're back.
Bam.
Hey guys, happy anniversary, guys.
Thank you.
100 shows.
100 shows.
Mars,
100 months.
we wouldn't have made it to 100 without you.
That's true.
Oh,
True.
That's
one
too
of the 3 times on our show, now the 4th.
Yeah, you're
2
right.
times
It would only be 97 if I hadn't been on.
Exactly. You helped us make it to triple digits.
Right.
That was amazing. We are back. Okay, everybody, I've gotten so many comments. I'm letting people know. Christian, you take it away. I'll come back.
Yeah,
I want to just make
Mars,
sure
so,
everybody.
Wow, there's so many things that I could ask you about, and I was just chatting a little bit about how you approached like the narrative of the film. Did you think about what you wanted to lead with? And I mean, when I think about my impression of you as an artist, I may say, oh yeah, Mars the illustrator, or Mars the musician, or Mars the artist. Do you have like a particular way that you like think about your art?
Well, on my Instagram, I say illustrator / musician. They're kind of equal, I make more money as an illustrator nowadays, but in the past it was sort of a balance, I guess.
Do you find that your illustrations, do you find them to be lyrical at all? Do you see a musicality to your drawings, and vice versa? Do you hear or
Totally. I think that's perceptive because I often describe making a drawing as me trying to deal with composition, rhythm, harmony, texture, all those things, and they all apply to music as well. So I do think in formal terms, you know what I mean? So if I'm trying to balance the song, the composition of a song, I'm in the same way I'm trying to balance a drawing on the page.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I opened the show with saying how much, and I've told you this many times, but an influence you've made on me as just an overall artist. And when you just describe that in terms of the lyrical musicality to the art, that is something I can feel. And I think it is a reason that I connect so much to it. But I also was saying this to you, is that you are such a big part of New York City for me. I feel like you capture the energy, the movement, the comedy, the tragedy, the loneliness. Mm-hmm. And it's like all of it encapsulates New York City, but in terms of songwriting, that's what a great song is too. Um, I just want to say thank you for that. But
Yeah, I
in
mean
terms of
that's it's.
watching,
I well, if I
the
could just jump in.
actual chronological movement of your work, it was really cool to see the change. And
Yeah,
like,
I think it was for me also, you know,
yeah,
putting it
yeah,
together, you know, seeing high school work all the way up till now. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you guys see. I'm curious because I
yeah,
see, I guess it does get better, but there are probably some constants too. I'm not sure.
I mean, I see
yeah,
a lot of constants. The one constant I wanted to return to real quick before we jump into the art piece is New York, clearly, like in
Oh,
song and in illustration. But when I think about, I'm not an illustrator, and I have a beginnings of a song career, a musical career, but we won't get to that now. Um, but they seem like such different artistries in the sense that making an illustration is more of like a solo activity. It's
yeah.
not necessarily always done live. It's something that kind of lives forever. Music, it seems like you were doing a lot more of a collaboration. You were doing a lot more kind of live performances and stuff like that. And so do you see like a crossover? I mean, yeah, do you find just there are different outlets for you as a performer, as an artist?
Yeah, the one big difference, I think you just hit on it, is that with drawing, it is a isolated solo pursuit. And then I think I was craving an audience, you know, like most performers might. And so that's what led me to want to learn guitar, to want to be on a stage, you know, just to have applause or to hear it, you know, something like that, something as basic as that.
I mean, the through line for me in terms of your art is that there's a lot of people, and you focus on you capture, not focus, but you capture human behavior
Mm.
and moods and dynamics um in a way. And I thought that like your interest in the dictionary of cultural literacy, like I have so many questions around that. Like, when was that book written, first of all? Like, do you have any idea?
I don't know how. I mean, it's probably like a book from the 80s or 90s. I have it. I can check. Yeah,
It
but
just
it's interesting. Yeah,
it's so interesting because I mean, because when I'm like, of course he studied something like that, because in a way you're an anthropologist in the sense that you capture mores and attitudes, and your paintings capture traditions to a certain degree of walking and experiencing life. At the same time, you know, thinking about learning and familiarizing yourself and anchoring your art in cultural literacy of some point at this moment of time. It sounds like now in the zeitgeist we're hearing a lot more about cancel culture and kind of like this interplay between what is the status quo
yeah.
and what you show as kind of normal. And I mean, does that interplay or contrast, do you have any thoughts on cancel culture right now?
Well, I guess I would take it on a case by case basis. You know,
right.
if you know, you could ask me specifically maybe, but yeah, I mean, culture and um, literature has been a big interest of mine. I've always wanted to somehow try to understand everything, and um, behind every culture there is the arts and understanding. And that book was interesting to me because it just had it was a dictionary, like it said, of cultural literacy. So it would just list things like, am I my brother's keeper? You know, that's a phrase, right? And in order to, it was just sort of listed as, because we're a Judeo-Christian society, I guess, in the West. So therefore that phrase is supposed to be familiar, and it was nice to have it all in a dictionary, in a book, you know. That was in the religious section, and then they had other sections. It's, you know, I should show it to you.
I would love to see it. I would totally
Mars,
love to
we
see
Yeah,
have
I'm sure there's parts of it
questions.
that are outdated or something now. I don't know.
We have a question here. Um, Amy Sloniker says, "Hi, Marcellus.
Hi, Amy.
Did you have did you have any favorite comic strips or comic books as a kid? And are you a fan of any particular comic books still?"
Oh yeah, I'm big now on alternative comics, and which means like more literary type comics that tell stories. I don't know if that's the right phrase. Alternative comics. I don't know if that's even a valid phrase anymore. But when I was young, I just was obsessed with Mad Magazine. So that, I don't know, that taught me a distrust of authority. But I love the art, and my friend Scott Dickers and I just memorized all of the artists' names and even the writers' names. We loved that magazine.
And that, right there, Scott Dickers and you really are well, you are one of the inspirations because I read in Scott's book for creating, he ended up creating The Onion. And I feel like you guys started something together. Um, was that a comic book or what was it that
Oh
you
yeah,
guys?
we drew together all the time. We made little books, we just slavishly copied Mad Magazine and tried hard to be our own artists, And yeah, Scott went on to do The Onion, and that's really cool. And we had, our paths had diverged by then, but we're still in touch. We're still
But
friends.
you guys were friends in high school or?
No, before that, 5th grade, 6th grade.
Wow. That's so cool. I've been to Marcellus's home, his childhood home. At least you were there when you were in high school at the least, right?
Yeah.
And there was a giant mural on the wall. First of all, one of my favorite things about Marcellus was he was a DJ in college and he had a reggae show, which I think says a lot. Even in your music, I feel it. I know it. I can hear it. I can hear the reggae beat. I can hear the language.
Yeah, I love the way reggae is like subtracts a lot of sound, and there's a lot of empty space, and it's rhythmic. I mean, I love that.
Yeah.
And but at that time, when I was doing that, reggae was really all the rage, in
Oh no, I know. I mean,
I wasn't doing anything.
I'm still a big fan. So I hope you. I mean, I'm a fan, so I get it and I hear it, and like it's influenced all of us in some way. But for you, like the way you influenced me too, is like a style of singing, which is like speaking to a rhythm that, I mean, you could call it rap if you want, but
That's what I
it's the
call it.
Marcellus rap, Marcellus' own style of rap. But anyway, you had a high school mural in there, and it was Bob Marley. And then wait, who was the other guy in that mural in
It
your
was
home?
who painted it with me, or who the other people in the mural?
Who are the other people in the mural?
Yeah. My friend painted it with me, but there was Bob Marley, there was Elvis Presley, and Bob Dylan, and Big Youth, the reggae artist, and
Awesome.
I think and this will tell you how deep we were into it. They're Haile Selassie.
Oh wow.
Wow.
We were just copying album covers and painting on this wall.
Sure.
My mom said, "Go ahead." And so we just took this paint, and so the mural stayed up for years, and I think it's still up. My parents just sold the house, and I don't know, the new owner apparently liked it or something.
It's still up. I love it.
It's so cool. It's so cool. I have one detail there were so many details in this story, right? Like the hitchhiker story kills me. I've heard it before, but it's so good. And the illustrations, you feel like you were there. But the question was about the obnoxious names for your band that you were coming up with. The one was Wage Slaves, was that one?
Yeah.
And the other was Marcellus Hall and the other musician. I think they're both really good.
Okay, maybe we could do it. Yeah.
They're so Marcellus Hall. They're so Marcellus Hall in the best way, in that someone else will want to use those names.
Yeah.
But I was going to talk about your sense of humor. Where do you think you got it? What do you? Where does it come from? Like influences or who? Because you are so funny.
I think if whatever sense of humor I have, I can't be so objective about it as you might want me to be. But I think Mad Magazine, like I said earlier, just gave me a sarcastic, sardonic look at the world, and that whatever. Maybe I still have that. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you always ask questions. Like you're a person that asks questions, and I think you don't. Just to give my analysis of you, Marcellus, is like you ask questions and uh, you don't always make assumptions that most people do.
Hmm.
I don't know if I'm making that up, but I feel like that's your curiosity, your inquisitive sense, and like I think
Yeah.
Magazine, I
I-
can see the connection.
yeah.
You
I
know,
always feel like, you know, you could make an argument uh, both ways for something. I
right,
mean, you can
right.
make a pretty good argument for both ways. And I'm not saying they're both right, but it's worth it to explore the other side.
Hmm.
Yes,
I mean,
and he does do that. Oh, Christian, you want to read this question here?
Yeah, I have that
Got a
question. I mean,
question?
I something that gravitated towards me in the documentary, and we do have a question here, but was the whole notion around kids have answers. And
oh,
that was interesting. I just was curious as to why. We can circle back to that. Here's a question from one of our viewers, Mia Young, is, do you know immediately how something is going to manifest itself via song or visuals, or do you have a process by which you decide? Do you want me to repeat it?
That's Mia. Hi, Mia.
yeah, hi,
Mia
Mia.
John.
Long time, Mia.
How I
Pandemic
met
time, Mia.
Marcellus.
Yeah, pandemic. Yeah, I mean, that seems like a two-part question. Like, do I visualize what the song or the painting is going to look like ahead of time, and do I have a process to get there? I don't think I know exactly what things will look like, but I often have an idea, and I have just through lots of experience know which guardrails to avoid, you know, or to stay on the path that will lead me to where I think I want to go. And then there's happy accidents that I always appreciate. And so I have a looseness about the way I go about things that I think hopefully will yield happy accidents. But in terms of my process, yeah, I think there's just an aesthetic, you know, that I've developed over the years. So like, I hate orange, so I won't use it, you know. I don't hate it, but there's certain well, green I hate worse, you know, but
Oh, wow.
That is good to know. I'm not going to wear my green turtleneck next time I see you. My
yeah, because I'll
goodness.
just hate you then. Yeah.
I'm glad he didn't say red.
Do you throw anything away? Do you save all your happy accidents, your drafts, your scraps? Are they all going to you return to them?
I just throw away the bad things. So no, I don't throw away anything.
Spoken like a true Marcellus, the artist.
There are things that I just dump. Yeah.
I was going to ask you, in terms of this pandemic, and especially for all of us that are artists and how we've been navigating, I feel like everyone's had a unique way of taking this on outside of the fact that we've all been communicating more so through the screen more often. But for you, what has transpired in the last 2 years? What has been happening with you, and how do you feel right now? What's
Well, I think like most people, I'm optimistic that we can get over this pandemic, and well, maybe some people are not optimistic, but yeah, I keep hoping that we'll get there, and then everything will be better, and everything, and we'll all be happy, and everything will change. I don't know. I mean, in terms of my work, you know, I could be getting more work. Things are kind of slow now, but I'm busy doing music with my band. We're completing the overdubs for our new record, and we're gearing up for a show this Saturday at Rockwood Music Hall at 7 p.m. 26th of February.
awesome.
Yeah, this Saturday.
Wow.
And and we're also doing this recording thing. Did you hear about this? I don't think I told you direct. Maybe I did. It's pretty cool. It's this thing where next month we go into Greenpoint, the studio, and we record directly to disc, like they did in the 50s or the 40s.
Wow.
You play live and it goes directly to the disc. It's not digital or tape or anything. And a bunch of people have pre-ordered which songs they want us to do. So if someone says we want Life Is Still Sweet, then we record it with my band, and then they get a single of that performance. Nobody else gets it. It's a one-of-a-kind thing. You didn't hear about this?
What?
No.
What?
Is it all
Oh my
signed? Is it
God, yeah,
all?
I
Is it all?
haven't. Sorry, I didn't read email this
Okay.
week.
Is it all? Is it all
Oh my
booked up? Is it all booked up? Can people still order the songs?
There's a few slots still left for us to record songs. Yeah.
And it could be any
Really?
song. Any song.
No, they asked
And
us to
if there's,
provide a list, so we have
Right,
like,
right, right. So out of the okay, so we can choose any of that. Beautiful.
yeah. I mean,
Whoa.
what?
it's for people like if you need a turntable or maybe not, but you get a 45 single, which is cool.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
Okay, yeah, okay. I can
And
rock
then so
that.
we have to say like, okay, hi everybody, this song goes out to Shonali. I mean, it's not to everybody, it's just directly to you,
That's amazing.
Oh,
Yeah, and there's no
wow.
other duplicate.
Wow.
And they're
How long?
auctioning it off. I mean, how are you, are they making money? Like, are you
Yeah,
making money? Like,
yeah, the pre-orders cost $25. So
that's,
then the company gets some and I think we get some. So that's how it goes.
that's so cool.
Can I get a family and friends rate on that? I'm just joking, Mars.
Sure.
That's very
But the thing
reasonable.
Yeah, of course. But there's like it's only 3 hours. So there's like 25 tops, songs.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask
This
you. Is
is
like how long
so
is your booking
cool.
like session? How long is your session time? That's really awesome.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
cool.
And
I have a question. I mean, I have so many
I
questions.
should
but
just mention what it's called. Can I mention it?
yeah, please.
Least of all. And it's spelled LEESTAVALL.
Say that again. LEE.
Yes, yeah, it's like I didn't make it up, but it's this company. You go to their website and then you'll find us on there and you can order.
I love it.
Wow. Question is, I feel like I learned a lot, even though I've known so much about you as a friend, as an artist, through seeing this documentary. But did you watch back and learn anything about yourself? I mean, I know you did, but like, what are the feelings like when I know it probably makes you cringe. That's a thing that happens when you're seeing yourself speak about your own art. But are there, new paths, new like openings from seeing your career and hearing yourself?
That's a good question, but I'm not sure the answer. I mean, like it's a little scary to try to wrap it up in a bow, in a box.
Yeah.
Say that's my career, it's done or whatever. So you have to. I have to envision the process as continuing.
Right.
Like I
Right.
can't,
You're like, yeah. I mean, I'm just gonna tell you, there's no ending in that. To me, it's just like this is what a thriving artist does and is nonstop and is like even that comment about I didn't get fucked up. I was just so like into my work, and that's real. I've witnessed
Well, yeah,
that
and I
for
mean,
you.
your
I've seen you
life
be
seemed.
uptight at
Yeah.
clubs.
Oh, okay. Shonali gonna go.
I'm just joking.
But
fucked up too.
but it seemed like Mars. It's like we've seen each other out, like not just like out like at bars and stuff, but I've seen you out literally in the city. Like we ran in each other like in Midtown, like near the Grand Central, like hustle and bustle, and there you were, like boom, and then you ran into somebody that you knew. Like we literally had this New York City moment where it was just like boom, 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 and then our world shut down, our city shut down, like the pandemic happened, and I think it's a fair question to ask, like in the absence of that hustle and bustle, where I found like you perhaps found yourself in, did you I don't know if impacting your creativity, or did you source your creativity from someplace else?
Well, I mean, that's a good question, but when we had lockdown per se, I was out on my bike riding around the empty streets of the city, and actually I remember at the time really enjoying the architecture of the city. More so than before. I was looking up and looking around, but that's different. I mean, you're right. I do thrive on chance meetings with people on the street and just seeing random passersby and getting inspired by that. So,
yeah, I mean, I hear you, because like even from I do feel like I experienced the city in a different way during those months of like severe lockdown, and part of there was a lot of silver lining, and my shift in my perspective changed as well. So I hear you on that.
Yeah.
You know, I know that I think it's perhaps because of like the different rhythms of life or something, where other artists who just felt like their creativity was like kind of flowing and just like kind of in it, like somehow it's just like, I don't feel as creative as I used to, like during the, you know, I don't know.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I struggled. Yeah, I felt a certain pointlessness to everything for some reason, and I recognized that we all were kind of struggling with that. But then I got worried that maybe it's like a midlife crisis kind of thing, and yeah, I wasn't sure what it was, you know, because I used to be so motivated, and I'm less so now, and that's probably to be expected. But I'm looking for a way to reignite some things nowadays.
Yeah. When I
What's
say
that face?
yeah, I was, I think like figuring that out in the past 2 years, like figuring out what that sort of lack of motivation, uh, the source of that, and like
Yeah,
being thrown off and thinking,
yeah,
oh, it's me, or it's, it's what's going on in the world, or it's,
yeah,
I don't know what to do. Um, I'm with you. I feel hopeful. I felt similarly like paralyzed. Mine was
yeah,
paralyzed. Like I just did a song within 6 months, or for me, that's it's very slow to write a song, and
yeah, yeah.
um, but just as your friend, I don't see, you're always creating, you're always thinking, and like
That's
it's a
true, you
part of
know.
who you are.
Yeah,
eh,
but you know,
You
like
know,
other things, like the collapse of the music industry, you know, where people are no longer buying music, there are no longer record companies dying to sign artists, there are no longer magazines, they're all dying themselves to hire illustrators. These are things that are not pandemic related that are affecting me, and only me.
yeah.
No, I mean, you know
No,
what I
you're
mean?
right.
So those are other
Yeah,
things, you know.
yeah, there was an article in the Atlantic that says that old music, like new music, is just like slowly collapsing in on of itself in terms of people aren't buying new music, and
Yeah.
like young people today are buying old music. I don't know if
Oh,
I feel like the pandemic had something to do with that, but like my
Hmm.
16-year-old niece bought a Pixies Doolittle album recently. You know what I mean? They're
yeah.
listening to 90s artists, and yeah, it's a unique space, but I still think you're an artist that creates because you can't help it, and you're right in terms of financial return and being like able to distribute it in a way like we used to. It's weird that it's not the same. It's totally different. It's
Yeah.
true in
Yeah.
magazines, but this is the time to figure out what it's gonna be. You're gonna do like you've done. Remember when you did the cutouts in Union Square? Like your art's been in Macy's uh, windows. Like it's like crazy how your art. There was that one mural in the Lower East Side. Like you've done so many things with your art. It's like it's very cool that you figured that out. Most artists are very jealous of your career, and that's only because they appreciate it and they wished they could, be as successful as you. I
Yeah,
know those
I do
people.
feel lucky. I mean,
Yeah,
you know, a lot of things have come my way, and I've had a lot of opportunities. I feel lucky. Yeah.
yeah,
We have
yeah.
another question coming in from Mia. What is an illustration opportunity you would now consider that you never thought you would as an artist?
Hmm.
Ooh.
Well, oh, that I never thought I would. It's hard for me to think of something I never would think of.
Well, maybe like drawing Christian for the cover of like GQ.
Yeah, like a naked painting of Christian. Like, would you consider that now?
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
No, but but
for the for the
yeah,
right
like an
paycheck, yeah.
oh, okay. I'll keep that in mind.
Well, like John Cougar, this is good. Like I love this story, but John Cougar was really like, I don't want to sell my music on like a car commercial. I know this is like a gazillionaire that we're talking about, but Bob Dylan, I heard him say that Bob Dylan was like, what is wrong with you, man? Like, do it. Like, spread your
hmm,
music. Like, what I don't care if it's a car commercial, what it is. sell, like put it out there. And Bob Dylan does do that, right? I thought that was interesting. Like, somehow you feel like Bob Dylan has some wisdom that you may not. There's something there to like, why not?
Yeah.
I don't, I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. There's two sides of every argument.
Yeah. Okay, Smart Alec.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
go for it, Shonali.
Question from Amy. Oh, and Amy also says she has her Mad magazines too that she peruses. That's what
Oh, cool.
it's like a collection from the 70s of Mad magazines. So was Marcellus working on the art for a comic book recently? I think I saw some black and white images on his IG.
Yeah. During the pandemic, actually, I felt so lucky because this guy in Portugal who has put on exhibits of my work and has printed a comic book for me in past years, suddenly emailed me and said, would you like to make another comic book? And I thought, this is perfect for the pandemic. Now I have this job to work on, a 32-page booklet. So I worked on it, I completed it, and then he got into some the pandemic affected his comic book store / publishing house, and he got into a slump. And I think emotionally it affected him a lot too. He was sort of acknowledging that he was drained and he didn't have the energy. And so anyway, that's to be seen. I mean, coming, I hope. He keeps telling me that it's going to be printed soon, or that it is printed and he has to finalize it. But I hope to announce soon in this year that it will be ready for distribution, for sale, whatever.
Cool. I'm feeling, just seeing you, I know we're on a Zoom screen, but you're someone that I've played shows with, hung out, like you're my friend, and I haven't been able to be with you, and I'm feeling like it's gonna happen soon.
We should do a show together.
Yes, I'm ready. I mean, I'm leaving for a little while to make art, to be inspired to like.
That's so
right?
cool. Yeah.
I'm very excited about this, ladies and gentlemen. Off the grid for a little while. And my last hang is with you guys, which is super special. But Mars, I want to say it again. I can't say it enough. What you created, what you do from a long time ago, from my first time that I heard your music, not knowing you're an incredible illustrator, all of it is very special to me, to the point that I just want, I got rid of all these books, but everything by Marcellus Hall is either scanned or on my wall or on my coffee table. So, and this is, I've gotten rid of some big names, just so you know. And I'm not going to say them here because they would be offended. But this documentary, we had comments like Debbie Shea, Lisa Delarios, Anne Lanier. Everyone is just like, this is so good. Debbie Shea is like, fabulous. I want to see some more.
Totally.
Anne was like, it's unbelievably great. All hearts. Just, I just saw John Yu. This link. This documentary was excellent. Loved the Lou Reed story and the illustrations. People just really, really loved it. And thank you so much for sharing. And I'm sorry that I kicked you out and all that happened.
No, that was probably my fault.
It's par for the course.
So we have a few moments still to try to get one of your songs performed live. On a 45. That's what you just said, right? So I think the
least of all,
and then the show is Saturday night at Rockwood.
Yeah, and I posted all of this. You have to search, I guess, but it's on my Instagram, and it's also on
beautiful. Beautiful.
About least of all and about the show. Yeah.
Oh, Mars. One of your bandmates, mine too, Joachim Kearns.
Great Barrington.
Got a question. Great Barrington. Mars, what's the craziest thing that's happened to you while you were out in the world making art? Maybe somewhere on the street in New York City?
Ooh, that's a juicy question.
He's told me some stories.
I don't know. I can't. I don't know. I think
Yeah.
what something.
I
think
just remember.
this is not crazy, but I remember sitting down to draw on the subway and realizing the guy across from me was also an artist with a sketch.
You were drawing each other. And it's true. Maybe I'm thinking of things that not necessarily are while you're making art. You've
Okay.
just had a number of crazy. We all New Yorkers have had some crazy moments, but
Oh,
I'm
you mean the
definitely.
guy masturbating on the train?
Oh, well, that would be one.
No.
That would
Yeah,
be
Mars.
one.
I just got up and went to another car.
Sounds like that's a good, that could almost be a PSA. You know, good way to end our show.
Well, Mars, thank you again for celebrating our 100th episode. And all of you, thank you for being here. It's very special. We're
It is.
proud.
Yeah.
You
You
guys
know,
should be. Congratulations.
thank
you,
you.
Marcellus.
We are like, I feel like we need to celebrate moments in our lives that we probably take for granted. And this is one that I didn't want to pass up. And the two of you are hugely important to me. So thank you both so
Thank you,
much.
Shonali.
And Mars will share all this information. And I can't wait to play a show with you soon.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Okay. Thank
Do-
you.
Bye.
Do you want to say anything to your fans before you head out?
Peace and love.
Ooh, peace
Yes.
and love to all of you. And on that note,
All right.
Bye,
Thank
guys.
you, Mars.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
bye.
Oh, wait. No. Where's Christian? Well, Justin, you want to come back on here? I don't know where Christian just left. I don't know what he did. But that was so
knows?
awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. It was like such a great documentary, and people really loved it. And I love seeing what you guys put together. You did a great job of capturing Mars. I know you put it together, but it was really fun to share tonight. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy that we got to do it. So. I
Yeah.
appreciate that you guys are letting the intern have part of the 100th show. So
Yeah, we want to celebrate you too. I don't know where Christian, where did he go? Um, I'm just gonna call him out. Uh, but that's all right. Um, yeah, I want to congratulate you again and thank you for being Justin the Intern for 100 episodes and all that you've done. You're super important to me, and the work you've done was just wonderful. It was just awesome.
oh yeah,
So,
no problem. I mean, it's fun coming here every month and hanging out with you guys and meeting the hundreds of amazing people that you know as well. I mean,
well,
whenever
thank
you
you guys.
want, I'm here.
And thank all of you for your great questions. Joaquin, Amy, Mia, I know that Ramona, Tash, Anne. There's just so many people that thank you so much. I know we were both on two channels at the same time, so we really thank you. And oh, look, he's gonna come say bye. He's gonna come say bye.
Oh,
He's
Christian's back.
Oh, thank you, Christian. Thanks for saying bye with us all on the air.
Hello.
He's definitely in his West Coast brain because I mean, we didn't congratulate Justin and thank him for all he did. It's like
I know.
amazing.
I hit it too quick. What can I say? It's been a tech miasma.
Well, I just thanked him for everything and how beautiful that documentary turned out, and so many people were touched, and I just thank you for 100 episodes. Thank
Thanks
you
for
both.
inviting me back to this moment, Justin. It was a beautiful documentary. I hope that you have more projects like this. You have a really you have a way of bringing out the essence of people and telling their stories. So it was remarkable. So yeah, a really great way to celebrate our show, which is all about people's stories and celebrating each other. So Shonali, kudos to you. You look fantastic. I need to get a collar like that.
Thank you.
Myself, I need to rock it. Rock
That
it.
is fancy.
We should do that together. This is just for the show. Well, love you all, and thank you so much. And we'll be back
Thank you, everyone.
next month. All right. Happy 100th. Bye.
Bye.